I've always believed that being alone was the safest way to live. No drama, no unexpected problems, no people. That's why, when work and life started piling up, I decided to rent a small cabin deep in the woods for a few days. No signal, no neighbors, just quiet. The drive there was long and empty. As I got closer, the roads narrowed, the trees grew thicker, and eventually, it felt like I was completely cut off from everything. When I finally reached the cabin, I remember thinking it looked off, not abandoned, just slightly neglected. Like someone had been there recently, but didn't care enough to keep it clean. I shrugged it off. I wasn't there for luxury. I unpacked my things, made some instant food, and spent the evening just enjoying the silence. No traffic, no notifications, nothing. It was exactly what I wanted. That first night, I slept better than I had in months. The next day was normal. I walked around the area, explored a bit of the woods, and didn't see a single person. No footprints, no sounds, nothing but wind and trees. It felt peaceful, but also strangely empty, like the place was too quiet. That night is when things started to feel wrong. I was lying in bed, half asleep, when I heard a faint sound. It was subtle, like something shifting. At first, I thought it was just the cabin settling or maybe an animal outside. But then I heard it again, a soft creak from inside the cabin. I sat up, listening. My heart started beating faster, but I tried to stay rational. Old cabins make noise all the time, right? I got out of bed and checked the front door. Locked, windows secure, nothing looked out of place. I went back to bed, convincing myself it was nothing. A few minutes later, I heard it again. This time, it was clearer. A slow, deliberate step, not outside, inside. I frowned. There was no way someone could be in the cabin. I had locked everything. I checked everything. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight, stepping out into the hallway. The beam of light cut through the darkness, shaking slightly in my hand. I slowly checked each room's kitchen, the living area, the bathroom. Nothing, no one. I felt stupid. I told myself I was overreacting. Maybe I was just tired. But as I turned to go back into my room, something caught my eye. The back door. It was slightly open. I was sure I had locked it earlier. I stood there, staring at the small gap, trying to remember if I had used that door at all. I couldn't. A cold feeling crept over me. I walked toward it slowly, every step feeling heavier. As I got closer, I noticed something else. The floor near the door was dirty, not just dusty, but marked. Footprints, barefoot, they led from the door into the cabin. My chest tightened. I followed them with the light, my breathing getting heavier. The prints went across the floor and disappeared near the hallway. Near my room, that's when I heard it, a soft, slow breathing sound. Behind me, I turned instantly, shining the light toward the living room. At first, I saw nothing. Then, in the corner just beyond the reach of the light, something moved. I stepped back, raising the phone higher. And that's when I saw him, a man, standing perfectly still, pressed into the corner like he was trying to blend into the shadows. His clothes were dirty, torn, his face, pale, with dark eyes locked directly onto me. He didn't blink, he didn't speak, he just stared. I couldn't move. My body refused to react. My mind was screaming at me to run, but my legs wouldn't listen. Then, slowly, he tilted his head and smiled. It wasn't a normal smile. It stretched too wide, like he wasn't used to doing it. I finally snapped out of it and bolted for the door. I didn't care about my stuff. I didn't care about anything except getting out. As I reached the front door and threw it open, I heard footsteps behind me. Fast, I ran outside into the freezing air, sprinting toward my car. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely unlock it. I got inside, slammed the door, and locked it just as something hit the window beside me. Hard. I turned it and he was there, right next to the car, staring in at me, still smiling. I started the engine and drove, not even looking back. The narrow road felt endless, like it would never lead out. I kept expecting to see him in the rearview mirror, running after me, or worse, sitting in the back seats, but I didn't look. I didn't stop driving until I reached the main road. I went straight to the nearest town and reported everything. The police went back to the cabin the next morning. They found nothing. No footprints. No signs of forced entry. Nothing. But that's not the part that still bothers me. A few days later, I got a call from the cabin owner. He asked me something strange. He asked if I had gone into the basement. I told him no, I didn't even know there was one. There was a long pause on the phone. Then he said, very quietly, "That's weird, because the basement door was open when the police got there. I never went back to that cabin, and I don't think I was ever alone in it."